Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another District Gooner Pod. It's your two favorite DC Gooners.
Howdy, it's your boys back at you with another one. We're coming on you on a hump day. It's one of our favorite days to hit you after work on a hump day. Some action after the weekend, but you know we thought we'd be nice and actually not go with the chaos route and hit you with a pod. So how we doing, KP?
I am doing okay, dude. I had Monday off, so shout out to all the veterans. Thank you for your service. And the rest of the week has been your typical short week where it feels like, is this all necessary? Now I have to cram 5 days of work into 4 days of work. But overall, it's nice. The weather has turned. It's super chilly in the district, so I'm enjoying that, man. Some leaves on the ground and the wind is blowing.
It is chilly. It's nice though. It's a nice change of pace. You know, peak fall is already over. That's like the best. We were on an airplane. I was coming back. Got to see the peak fall. Got all the autumn colors in the sky. And then 2 weeks later, it's all on the ground. It's already over, which is kind of sad. But you know, onto not greener pastures. Onto Thanksgiving. We got Christmas coming up. We're in holiday season now.
Yeah, it's holiday season is loading, as well as Arsenal's 10-game unbeaten run. They are both loading in the background, baby. We are enjoying this international break. Let me just say welcome to anyone who's listening for the first time. And shout out to those of you who keep listening. I don't know what keeps bringing you back, but we're happy you're here.
Don't do us like that, man. Don't do us like that. We hope we come with some knowledge, if not just funny stuff, because we're just, when we started this thing, just two friends chatting like we're in a bar just chatting Arsenal. So we're like, why not? Let's get it on the mic just for fun. We're not trying to do any technical analysis. We're actually just two fans chopping it up, basically. So
chopping it up, dude. I like it. You know who was chopping it up on the field, man? My captain. He's back.
Go to guard.
It's nice. I'm really happy that he pulled out of the Norway squad. There was some news right after the Chelsea game suggesting that he's going to link up with the team. News broke after that saying he's not actually with the team. And then it looks like Saka and Rice have also pulled out of their international duties. I saw something like 8 players have pulled out of the England squad. These games, bro, nobody cares.
It is crazy how much these international breaks like really affect the schedule. Like you're really going in between periods of international breaks. Like that's what it is. I feel like that's what the judgment is. It's like, all right, here's our next 5 games until the next break. Like let's get as many points as we can in these 5 games, and then we get a break. It's like, well, for Arsenal, we don't get a break because all of our players are gone still, right? So it is nice to have Odegaard staying. Saka, thank goodness he's staying. Rice, broken toe and everything. If you go play, sure, is anything bad going to happen? Playing the game, you're likely to get hurt just eventually. But as much as these dudes are playing, absolutely not. Stay home. Get your 2 weeks of rest in. That's it, just 2 weeks. Because you know they're going to be training with Arsenal next week. Shoot. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's all come at a good time. I was actually thinking today that, so yesterday, President Trump announced that he is electing Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the Department of Government Efficiency. And I was thinking, you know what? Put the bans aside. Put this weird phase that we're living in aside. Maybe FIFA could use a Department of Efficiency, because something's not right with all of these games, bro. You know how I know no one cares about these games, Steven? They don't even show them in America on any of the streaming platforms. Like, we are a consumer economy and we have decided this isn't worth it.
It's crazy, man. I don't get it. The US team, it's just like we're just playing CONCACAF team still. It's the same old BS. Jamaica, Panama, Mexico, Canada. Like, it's just the same stuff over and over and over again. I don't know if it's any different. It's glorified friendlies. Like, that's all it is. I don't really understand the Nations League, like what the point of it is. You're just trying to make these friendlies, like put them on a tier, and they're not. It is what it is. Euros, World Cup, that's it, right? Copa America, those are the tournaments. We don't care about anything else. Let the boys get a rest, man. Let the boys get a rest.
Give them a rest, dude. It looks like actually Benny Blanco is going to get some much needed rest, dude. I feel like I've said this a couple of times now. Something's just not right with this dude, man. Something hasn't felt right. And the news broke today that he's apparently having a minor operation and he'll be out for at least 8 weeks. So we're not going to see him until the new year.
Yeah, can't knock the dude, right? Everybody knew he's not on the same level, overlapping and stuff like that. The energy just hasn't been there with him. I think that's why we all love him. He brings a little X factor. But he's playing through it. Like, we have to play him. We really don't have another option. A 75% Ben White is better than a lot of right backs, right? So shout out to him. That warrior mentality really coming out, right? He's that dude. Operation, hope it goes well. Comes back. Tomiyasu, I hope you're able to come back. Big man, we need you.
I need Tommy back, dude. Right before we were recording, I was just thinking about Tommy. I was thinking he was my one to watch last season. He really came through for the run-in. And, you know, I think if you look at Tomiyasu, he is the perfect example of how our season has gone.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. We need Tomiyasu back. Even Calafiori, at this point, if Ben White's going to be out for 8 weeks, that's a substantial amount of time. I don't think he's ever been missed that long. So we need people back. Calafiori, please. Tomiyasu, big man. I'm a rider for Tomiyasu, okay? I think everybody knows that. I ride for this dude. When he's on, he's hot, undroppable status. But if he can't get on the field, I mean, what are you going to do with him, right? Might as well ship him off. So this is it. This is one of your last straws. I can see the fan base turning on this dude. If he does not come back and perform for us, I think he might become the scapegoat.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. He might. Yeah. I mean, he's also up, isn't he, for like a contract extension of some sort? I think you had mentioned he only has like 2 years left. Over the summer, you mentioned something like that. So, yeah, it's one of those, man. It's tough. It's tough, bro. We need the squad back. We need the players that we have in the squad to get more time. I want us to spend some time to discuss the Chelsea game, of course, reactions to the performance, reaction to the result. But really quickly, just before that, one of the biggest news stories of this international break has been the PGMOL and this David Coote video that popped up. It's weird. When I saw the video at first, I thought it's so hard to tell if it's real or not. Like, we are totally living in a world where it's like, is this real? Like, what I'm seeing? Is that why they're so quiet? Because they've been very quiet about this.
It's in 4G. It's in 4G. It's in 4K. It's obviously shot off an iPhone or something. So, I mean, I think to me he's caught dead to rights. Is it surprising? When you watch that video? Is that something you find surprising?
No. Honestly, it's not. I know that referees can have bias, but I think a video like this, when it's popped up with some of the other things that we've seen, with the fact that we still don't have the automated offside. I thought they said it was getting rolled out in October. What happened? Did they extend that? So, like, there are things brewing with this organization that it's starting to get to a point where I feel like, when are the authorities going to step in and just like do an investigation as to what's going on here? Where's the Consumer Protection Agency? You know, because I'm like tired of consuming this shit, dude.
I like the way you put that. Yeah, because it is shit. To me, it gives you an insight of probably how these dudes talk to each other. You know, they're sharing stories about their games when they get together for training and all of that kind of thing. They're obviously, Arteta did this, Klopp did that, you know. Sean Dyche, what a guy. love him, blah, blah, blah. They obviously have their biases. That's just human nature. You have your biases. But I can't believe this dude straight up on somebody's phone, camera in front of him, is just letting it fly like that. You don't have a friend close enough in the world to be going on camera like that to be talking that mess. I assume the guy, he's getting blackmailed for something. He also has that video, Juicium. There's a video that came out today of him doing coke.
No, yeah, I haven't seen that, dude.
So somebody got something on this Coop, man. They got it out for him. That's basically that. To me, he's done. He's gone.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I think I would say he's compromised. Is the right way of putting it. And I am officially calling for an authority to investigate this organization, because something has to happen, dude. The Howard Webb, there was the one shot of him which I thought was weird in this season at one Arsenal game where he had the headset on and he was like in the stands. And it's like, I've only seen that once. Why?
That was the denial of the goal scoring opportunity. The red card for Saliba. They cut to him and he's on the phone like it's fishy, right? It's fishy business. It absolutely is.
I mean, we're just speculating, right? Let me get that on the pod. We're just speculating. But something, you know what? This organization doesn't pass the smell test, Steven.
And something stinks, man.
Something stinks. I hear you, man. You know what didn't stink, Steven? Let's get into the game, man. Let's get into the Chelsea performance. Arsenal versus Chelsea, 1-1 at the Bridge. As my co-host predicted.
Bingo. I got that one on. 1-1. Don't love that I got it right. I'll be honest with you. Don't love that I got it right. I think a place to start would be the lineup. We had asked, we need to see a change. We need to see something different. It was different, but it was also something very familiar. It was like back to our strongest lineup at the beginning of the season. You had texted me. You actually loved the lineup.
I did. I mean, I think that's our best starting 11. Call it. I think in a cup final tomorrow, that's probably my preferred lineup at this moment in time. But I also hear you. Your point about we need change, and it just felt a little bit of the same, right? I was surprised that Declan Rice played the amount of time that he played. I was surprised that Martin Odegaard played the full 90. But the starting line, I had no problems with, dude. And I also felt like there are no excuses today. Like, we should get a result with this lineup.
Absolutely no excuses when you put out that lineup. It's back to our bread and butter, right? That's our bread and butter lineup. Sure, you can go on one hand and be like, well, Odegaard's just getting back into the squad, so maybe it won't be. Man went out there and put in 90 minutes of just grit, grind, back to his magical self, right? Like, you can't put it on Odegaard because that dude was saucing. He put on the show. Man of the match, in my opinion. Then you got players like, obviously, Ben White, hurting. I think even you could say Timber, kind of hurting. Declan Rice, hurting. So you don't have many options. I think that's 3 players I just named. Odegaard would be your 4th. That's tough, man. Like, that's tough to, I guess, rotate all of that. We're in a tough spot. We're in the slump. Let's go back to our bread and butter. Odegaard, can you do it? Yeah, I got it. He did it. Rice obviously couldn't put in the 90. He did what he could. We had a sub come in and look excellent for him. We'll have to touch on that. Looked excellent for him. So, like, I don't blame. To me, there's no blame on the lineup for the manager. There's no blame for any of the players saying, I'm good to go. They all did what they could. Just a tough result, man.
Yeah, let's talk about the result, because I know you had predicted it, and I'll also just say we've been doing not so bad with predictions this season, dude. We got the North London derby, 1-0 to the Arsenal. You had the Atalanta game, sorry. And now the Chelsea game, that's not too bad. But I had asked you on the pod that if it's a draw, would you say you'll be disappointed with that result? And I think you framed it as it all depends on the performance. Now, where do you sit?
That's an interesting one because this was a question I had for you. I guess I'll lead into it and then throw it back to you and how I wanted to frame that. I am disappointed, and I'm disappointed because we were on top. I felt like we were the team going for the win. We were going for the 3 points, and it just didn't happen. Despite some great opportunities, a few offside calls that didn't go our way. That's tough. But we were the team pushing for the 3 points. This is where I'm going to throw it back to you. I think we've had a few draws this season where it feels like we dropped the points, where the other team earned the point versus us dropping the points. Does this result feel like that to you?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think there's been 4 games, right? Manchester City, that draw, we dropped points that day. We dropped 2 points that day. The Brighton game, I think, fair result at the end, given the circumstance. We could have still won that game, man, But the Liverpool game, that draw, I felt like we kind of dropped points a little bit against Liverpool, dude. I got to be honest with you. And now this Chelsea game, I think, we're looking at 6 to 8 points drop, really. And the draws, they feel like losses. I have to be honest with you. I was surprised by the commentary post-match giving so much credit to Chelsea, talking about their growth and their manager and just kind of overlooking the Arsenal performance, because I went back and I watched that second half again, just the second half, and I was so sure we should have won that game after I rewatched it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at the media reaction. That's just, it is what it is. Darling Chelsea spent the $1 billion. They're finally looking like they're a team to contend with. I think what I heard on commentary, which I think is true, is Chelsea looked like a team fighting for top 4. Chelsea still looks like a team that we're fighting to be title contenders. And I think what we just said kind of describes that. We were looking for the win. They were looking for the draw.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think you said Chelsea twice there, but I got what you were talking about.
Yeah,
you were
sorry.
saying...
Chelsea looking for the top 4. Arsenal looking for title contenders. Is that what I messed up?
Yeah. No, you got it now. Dude. It's just what it is when you podcast, dude. It happens. Not going to cut it out. I'll leave it in there for everyone to know what we're about, dude. Look, 11 games played now, and we are sitting 4th, I think, on goal difference, just to Chelsea with 19 points, and Liverpool are sitting first place with 28. So they have a 9-point gap, right? And I think on the last pod, you kept going back and forth about when do you throw in the towel? And I am starting to feel like if that 9 points becomes 12, we might have to throw in the towel.
I think it all depends on the timeline too. 9 points is not great. I think we've had, and a lot of the discussion around Arsenal right now is we've had a tough run. We've played a lot of the top teams away so far, which is good. Like, we've gotten those out of the way, but we have not gotten the results we wanted from a lot of those. Especially, and I'm talking especially the home games. A lot of those draws you just said. Liverpool, City was away. The Brighton one, so that's 2 of them. Brighton, Liverpool, that's 4 points dropped. Could have got results there. Now we have to go away to them, and they're both good squads. But, man, could you imagine 12 points at Christmas? That's going to be tough. December's going to be very, very big. I think let's be glass half full, silver lining kind of guys. We're not leaving London during the month of December. That's great. Is the team capable of ripping off 10, 15 wins in a row? Yes, we are. We've seen it before. Fitness. Hopefully. We don't know yet, but I'm hoping after this international break, Ben White is the only one that's not back in the squad yet. Hopefully a lot of those big dogs return, are healthy. especially that Odegaard Rice combo, our center mids. To me, if those two are healthy, we might be able to kind of make some changes in that midfield a little bit and get us really pushed in the right direction.
Yeah, I totally hear you, dude. And I think that like a 12-point gap come Christmas, New Year, you can definitely kiss the league goodbye. For now, we just have to see how things play out. Let's talk a little bit about the game, more so about like the players, right? I think Odegaard, I totally hear you. It was really nice to have him back. The way he was, the press is just clearly different. The way we're winning the ball in their half is just different. I think his chemistry, that's the one thing that we miss completely with Trossard. When he is filling in for Odegaard, he just does not provide the same defensive stability.
No, he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't have the engine for it. You know what? When I saw that goal, man, so the goal that he assisted to Martinelli, that was really reminiscent of that ball he put into Kai Havertz. And like, I know the one Havertz, it was a header. It was in front of it was the Inter game when I think Havertz got hit in the head. Am I talking the right one? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not correct. You know what I'm talking about. The keeper came out, punched, he missed the ball, and Kai got the header in. Leo Trossard put in that ball, and it was like really reminiscent. I was like, see, Leo gives you those little moments every once in a while where Odegaard, like, it's consistent. Like, he's going to give you this game in, game out. It's like a different level, right? He's the captain. This is the reason why he's that dude.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. You could tell. Let's talk about Gabriel Martinelli and the goal that he scored. I think the goal, it was nice. I'm glad he got his head up and put it near post. I've been saying he hasn't been going near post that much, and so that was good to see. But I'm so torn on his performance because I feel like, yes, he scored, but he was still our worst player. I really thought he was the worst player in an Arsenal shirt that day, even with the goal, dude.
You gotta say more. With your chest out, you said he was the worst player in an Arsenal shirt. Say more.
I really thought he was, dude. There was a few moments. I wish I could sit down with him after a game and just like pull up little like snippets and just ask him like, who were you aiming for when you crossed this ball? Like, I just want to know, because there were so many instances in the first half where I thought he got the better of the outside back. And then he got his head up, he saw the runners, and then the ball just goes to no one. And he like sometimes looks around like, oh, where are the runs, guys? And everyone's like, okay, I'm near post, he's in the middle, and Saka is far post, except you managed to play it to fuck all. So like, I need more from you, dude.
It happens pretty consistently that his crosses don't come to nothing. Pretty consistently. Which is something I just, for as much as it happens, what is the coaching staff doing? Are you bringing him aside, talking to him? One thing I don't like about when he crosses the ball is like, if he's crossing the ball to Saka's head, do not do that. Saka can't head the ball. That's the one thing that man can't do, is head the ball. It seems like Martinelli loves hitting it to that far post. Like, here's your chance. Here it is. Don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm sick of it. The little lofted crosses in. Don't love him. Martinelli, man, he is the divisive guy right now. You love him. You hate him. He scores the goal. He seems to be doing a lot of the BS that people don't like is just, again, consistently happening with him. I almost feel like we got to come to grips. Like, this is who he is, man. He's an experienced player in my book now. Yeah, he's 23, but he's been a starter for our team for what, 4 years now? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it does.
He started for 4 years. I think this is just who he is, and we got to come to grips with that. Is there going to be growth in those? I just can't. You've been on him for like a long time about like, you don't think he gets his head up. You've like been on him about that, and this is for years now. it seems like it's the same guy. Like, it's the same stuff as when he was 20. So this is who he is to me. Hopefully he gets better, but I think we need to come to grips, man.
I honestly think he is, like, when you look back to that starting lineup against Chelsea, I think he is the biggest liability out of the 10 field players. Because when I watch the game, and I don't have the numbers to back it, right? I'm just a fan. I'm just sharing with you how I feel. I feel like every time we're countered, it's down his side. Like, we don't get countered from... I don't see Benny Blanco scrapping back on a counter, dude. But I see Timber fighting for his fucking life out there.
Yo, you're gonna spin up Martinelli Hive, and well, he doesn't get any help on the left side. He doesn't get any help. That's where I think a lot of the fans lie, is like, well, he doesn't get any help. Remember when Jocko was there? That's when he had his best season. Yada yada. It's like, he's playing with Declan Rice. There is no reason why, to me, that they continuously come down our left hand side with a counter. I am with you on that. I do agree 100%. It always seems to be down that side. It's where they want to hurt us. I think in the past, it's like, well, Zinchenko was there. That's why it's happening. Well, Zinchenko's not there, and it's still happening. So somebody needs to raise the flag, and let's look at the tape and see what's happening.
What's happening is we just keep getting countered, or we get a wasted chance that goes to no one. And then every once in a while, you know what's the most frustrating part about it? And you said this earlier on a podcast like a few episodes ago, where you mentioned that in the past, maybe you expect Gabriel Martinelli to score that, like when he gets those chances, and you don't feel like you expect him to score anymore. And it happened in the Chelsea game before he got his goal. And was it like 30 minutes into the game or like 20 minutes into the game? Odegaard won the ball. It was a one-on-one. And like, it just wasn't good enough, dude. That's not good enough. This is Arsenal Football Club, bro. I've seen Alexis Sanchez play on my left wing. I need more from my left winger.
This is what it is. I think it's becoming apparent. A winger should have been in the cards. It should have been in the cards, man. A winger should have been in the cards, and it is now apparent it needs to happen. You hope this dude can turn it around and maybe a goal or two goes in and he changes. But I'm still seeing the head down, the lofted crosses, the dribbling into players, which is weird. I don't understand that. The just like dribbling it. Jesus does the same thing, which boggles my mind. It's like you see two dudes standing there. He's like, nah, I got him. Like, what are you thinking? This brings me back to that last Liverpool goal when he dribbles straight into Konate. He goes in. So 2v1 is him, Trent, Konate. And he's been cooking Trent all day. But as soon as he sees Konate, he shrivels up and that's what happened. He got the ball taken from him. Goal for Liverpool. It is what it is, man.
No, Steven, I mean, he's a liability, dude. He has become an absolute liability, okay? Liverpool game, he's 100% at fault that we dropped points that day. You can't convince me otherwise, dude. He lost that ball, and we got countered from that side, and they tied the game. Chelsea game, we are winning 1-0 in the ascendancy. And they split Gabriel Martinelli. He didn't go with his runner. And again, they score. I look back to fucking Porto last season. In like the 94th minute, he plays that silly ball. We get countered, and then we end up losing the game. So he has become a defensive liability. You can no longer say he works so hard. He's so important for us defensively. Why does it matter if he works so hard and he's important for us defensively when he's the one who keeps putting us in these situations? Like, these are preventable situations, Mikkel.
So funny with the Porto. You love bringing up Porto. There's a lot of pain for Porto and you.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, that one just hurt my soul, bro. I can't let it go.
I watched the highlight back, and not even the highlight. Like when that goal goes in, it's like, how did Neto get so much space? And to me, it's Martinelli, and I'm checking the socials, and people are going at Havertz for not stepping up to Enzo. Thomas Partey for being in the center back position. Obviously, he's covering for somebody. Rice is also in the center back position, covering. To me, if you watch it back, Martinelli like shoulder checks. He shoulder checks. Neto's off screen, so he's shoulder checking, looking at Neto. Neto runs in front of him. Runs right in front of him. Doesn't go with the runner. Holds his space. Plays that ball into Neto. Bang. Great goal. I mean, you can't take anything away from Neto. If you got 10 yards of space, I mean, I guess that's what professionals do, right? If no one's going to step onto you, you bang it. Good goal. But, man, he did shoulder check him. Like, he did. You got to watch that back. He did.
I mean, I have to look back and see if Neto runs in front of him or behind him. Because if he runs in front of him, I'm going to lose my mind, dude.
He runs in front of him, man. He runs in front of him.
Yeah, it's just not good enough, man. I really feel that way. And I mean, I've backed him. I know the potential that he has, but Gabriel Martinelli, Hive, take a breather. Take a breather, dude. Honestly, this is the thing. I'm watching the Chelsea game, and I do feel like teams have identified something against us, because the Inter game, they were taking a lot of shots from like 30 yards out. This game, from like the second minute, they were taking shots from very far out. So someone has identified some sort of gap or disconnect between our midfield and our center backs and is encouraging their players to shoot. So that has to be addressed. But I watched Gabriel Martinelli for 20 minutes against Chelsea, and I thought I'd like to have a sub. After he got the goal, he made it 1-0 in the 60th minute. Again, I thought, okay, I'd like to see a sub. And now I want to segue to the manager, because it goes until the 70th minute. We get scored on, and here come Arsenal subs. And on the other hand, 3 minutes before, Chelsea have made 2 subs. And who gets the assist? One of the subs. Where are our subs, Steven?
Oof. This is like deja vu, because you've said this exact same thing before. Other teams make subs. We don't do anything. They score, and then our subs come on. Like, it's deja vu, man. This isn't even in my thought process. I wasn't even thinking about this post game, like, for this pod. This wasn't even on my radar until you just said it. So that's crazy. Like, deja vu.
I mean, honestly, dude, I'm looking at this 68th minute. Chelsea make their subs. 2 minutes later, they score. Within a minute of them scoring, here come our subs. Mikel Merino and Trossard step up. 10 minutes go by. We bring on Gabriel Jesus, who I'm pretty sure we brought him on because Saka couldn't play anymore. Gabriel Jesus can play 30 minutes against Chelsea at Stamford fucking Bridge, dude.
You know what makes me sick about that too is Merino and Trossard played good.
Yes.
Both of them played well. Merino's best performance of the season, I mean, that was like top tier stuff. That's stuff I didn't know he had in his locker. And it was like quite a few times where he stops the ball, looks off people, they move to defensively, and he just turns it, hits it up the field, takes a few dribbles, passes. Excellent. Progressed us very well. Trossard, forgive him. Forgive him for that miss at the end. Woof. Woof. But everything else, like, he had a few moments where, like, he's doing stuff for us and looking positive. Jesus, I'm not going to speak on him because I don't, we already said enough about Martinelli. I don't want to get back into that mindset and talk about Jesus. That's enough. That's enough negativity for today. But those 2 subs alone, Merino and Trossard, those were positive. Same stuff, man. It's the same stuff. Game in, game out.
I really don't know what's going through Mikel's head. I think it's interesting that in one of his most recent interviews, he mentioned the difficult run that we have had. So I wonder what he's feeling to be sharing that externally. You know, he's not really one to make comments like that. And then I think back to this game, we've been in such a slump, Steven, and we get the breakthrough. We get the 1-0 at the 60th minute. Would I want my manager to say, you know what, we've been in a bad run. I'm at Stamford Bridge. I have the lead. I know I can shut these guys out maybe. Is it time to just see the game out for the next 30 minutes? Is it time to bring on someone else out on the wing? Why wait so long? I don't understand it. I really don't.
Those are questions we'll never get answers to.
Yeah.
We'll never know why. But if you've listened to us before, this is a common theme for us. Something we've caught notice of, and we continuously catch notice of it. So until it improves one day, we will keep noticing it, and we will be bringing this content here. Why are the subs coming in so late? Why are we not affecting the game? Why are we letting the other team bring the game to us with their subs? I mean, I just don't know. I do not know.
This is a big problem, dude. I think growing up, when I used to watch football with my dad, he used to always say that the managers win the game at halftime. Like, it's all about the halftime. That's when you know how good a manager is. And I'm starting to get a little worried about our manager and his halftime changes or his plans to just change things up in the middle of the game. And it's too reactionary. I mean, you've been hitting this proactive talking point for a long time. And we'll see. I guess the only thing we can say is we'll see. We'll see if anything changes. If it does change, we'll be the first ones to put our hands up and say, hey, I like seeing this. I want more of this.
That's facts. That is 100% facts. He loves to watch the other team subs come in. This is my only, I guess, thought process on why it is the way it is. I believe he likes to see their subs come in and then be like, how am I going to counter that? How am I going to counter what they just did? Versus, let's go for it. Let's go for this game. Yeah, how many times have we hit this stuff? It's a new he's a young manager. We got to give him that too. He is young.
He is. And I give him grace. And I give him grace. As upset as I am about the delayed subs and waiting to react to the other team, like, still manager in, don't get me wrong. Like, he's our guy, okay? And I think he will deliver a trophy this season. You mentioned Mikel Merino. I want to talk a little bit more about his performance. I agree with you. Some of the shimmy, I love seeing my center mid hesitate, like hit him with the hezzy pass, just open that space, take another touch. I love a good hezzy from my center mid, and he's got that in his locker. A question I want to ask you is, you said he was excellent. You feel like that was maybe his best cameo so far. And I've still seen a lot of people say Merino, Rice, but I have to wonder, was this his best cameo because TP5 was playing 6?
Ooh, I'm going to say no. I think this is the first time we've seen him with Odegaard. I believe they played together in Spain for that season. Odegaard played at Sociedad, so that's a first. I also just think Rice could play the 6 versus Partey. I think that would work out. I just do. But you got to hit the ones to watch. Partey, I mean, had another solid game. Like, you got to give it up to the dude. He had another solid game.
The fact that people are scapegoating him for that goal is kind of sickening, dude.
That's crazy. That's definitely, absolutely. Neither of those center mids. If it's anybody's fault in the center midfield, it's Rice, because he's the left 8. That's left 8 territory. Okay, Partey's obviously covering someone in the back line as a 6 should when he feels that someone in the back line has left their spot. So I guess he's one of the scapegoats, right?
Yeah, no, but that's well put. I did feel like, one, it's really evident the difference in Mikel Merino's playing style as that left 8 versus Declan Rice. I just felt like the positions he was taking up are so different than Declan Rice. There were a few moments where our center mids looked like Partey, Merino on top of him, and then Odegaard on top of him. And we were just making 5-yard passes between our center mids. And I don't really see Declan Rice cross over Thomas Partey's space. But I saw Marino go to like the right 8 a few times. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely does. I think Rice is a little bit more rigid. That's just the kind of player he is. He's very conservative, I believe, in his like playing style, the way he passes the ball. I think he kind of got a case of the Ben Whites a little bit. When you watch him play, he's just he's not 100% there. Physically, I don't know if it's mentally, he just seems tired. He just seems like there's something wrong. Like physically, he's just not right. So, you got to throw that out there, of course. But the type of player he is, he's a much more rigid, conservative player. Marino seems like he's willing to carry, like turn on somebody and carry the ball. Rice, it seems a little bit too risky for him. He wouldn't do that unless he's like blowing by somebody because he has to. Marino seems like he's got that in his locker. Like, come in, reach for that ball, and I'm gonna spin you.
Yeah, he definitely does. Give me the ball. Like, I know I'm 5 yards away from you, but give me the ball, dude. I like it. Trossard, we already kind of mentioned. Yeah, that miss. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel like it's going to get called back. It looked like offside to me. We also had a disallowed goal from King Kai, who was offside, who I thought put in another good shift. I've been surprised by the hate that Chelsea supporters have been putting on my timeline about King Kai, dude. These guys are out here speaking with their chests, saying how much they hate this guy.
I am not surprised if you see one of your boys go off. Feels like he's in greener pastures, balling, right? And then he finally comes to come play you. He scored on you last season and celebrated in your face. Now here he is, gets a goal called back, which he celebrated hard. And you got the draw. They feel like this is their chance to get one up on him on a draw.
It's weird. I think it speaks a lot to where their club is right now. I read a stat that we haven't lost at Stamford Bridge since 2018. Did you see that?
I did not. Wow. Woof.
That's Mikel Arteta effect, by the way. My manager. Just get the subs right, but my manager. So, I think that's incredible from us. But I don't understand. Well, I mean, you say you get the hate, but I don't, because they hated him when he was wearing a Chelsea shirt. So, like, I think to Robin van Persie, right? I never disliked him as an Arsenal player, but did I dislike him for what he did? Sure. But I don't feel like the Chelsea fans even have the right to be so hateful towards Kai Havertz, because they were hating on him for 2 years, dude. And by the way, where was Nicholas Jackson? Where was your striker? I didn't even notice him in that game.
You're right. You're right with that. They did give him hate. They absolutely did give him hate. Did the Champions League for him. They absolutely gave him hate. So that's completely fair. I just don't think they have a good taste in their mouth when he goes off to another team, is performing well, and basically shoving it back in their face. Like, you guys treated me like this. Well, I'm actually that guy. I'm going to score on you, and I'm going to celebrate in your face. I saw Nicholas Jackson out there diving for a couple fouls, letting Cole Palmer bang a couple balls into our wall. That's what I saw.
Oh, dude, those free kicks, I was a little worried about them. Cole Palmer, by the way. Cole Palmer who? When is this guy going to show up in a big game, bro? Just stat padding, man.
Let's hit on Cole Palmer. I'm not gonna talk too much about his performance. Wasn't great. I'm sure everybody knows that. But I didn't even realize this, but you had Cucurella got the man of the match. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure he got the man of the match, dude. I can look this up right now. But I think he got man of the match, dude. Oh, this is actually a lot harder to find. I don't know why. It shouldn't be this difficult.
Don't worry, I'll get my fingers on it now, too. Post-match interview of man of the match, Cucurella and Neto. No, I got Pedro Neto as man of the match, player of the match.
Even that, I'm not satisfied with. I agree with you. I think an Arsenal player should have been man of the match, and I think it should have been Odegaard. But Pedro Neto did have a good game, dude. I know a lot of supporters wanted him to be wearing an Arsenal shirt, but it is what it is, man.
Neto, would have loved to have him. We were talking about Martinelli. Did you feel this way? So they had Neto, Madueke, we have Saka, Martinelli. Saka, obviously, I believe in him. Going at Cucurella, he had a decent game, but I kind of still trusted in him, and he still had a few moments. I honestly thought Neto, Madueke, either one of them played better than Martinelli, despite his goal. Madueke, that's a close one. That's a closer one, but I still feel like he gave them something that Martinelli wasn't giving us.
He did, dude. This is why I say Gabriel Martinelli was the worst player wearing an Arsenal shirt, because, Pedro Neto outplayed him. I think he did. I also think, there was that one instance where Pedro Neto squared up Benny Blanco, and he did like 3 different fake crosses, and then he finally whipped it in. And Gusto was about to score. And it was like, it was an amazing ball, dude. But like, I don't think I've ever seen Gabriel Martinelli do that. I'm struggling with it, bro. Give me something.
and you know what Martinelli Hive is going to say is, but he was there, man. He was there to defend it. He was there pulling on his shirt, pulling him down. So maybe this is bad from me. Maybe this is bad from both of us. It's like, did Madueke even do anything? I don't know. I'm just not happy with Martinelli. And when I see him doing things, like you're saying, that shot that he took, it's like, I don't think that's going in. I don't believe it. Even the goal he scored, I was like, he ain't going to do it. Like, he's not doing this right here. So I believe people call it like rose tinted glasses. I think I'm the opposite of that. Like, I'm wearing dark glasses. I'm just wearing sunnies when I see Martinelli get on the ball. I put on my shades. Like,
I love that analogy, dude. All right, man. Anything else you want to mention about the Chelsea game?
You know what? I'm pulling up a clip here. Cucurella is holding the Man of the Match trophy, so I think they gave it to him. My rant is back on. Here we go. So we were talking about Cole Palmer. Cucurella gets Man of the Match, which is crazy. Neto would have been a much better, like, when Neto's going to get it. Like, I don't got any qualms with that. Fair enough. I believe Odegaard was ours. Why are you going to give it to Cucurella, KP? Why is the media going to give this Man of the Match award to Cucurella?
I think it's because he went to the referee and told him that Kai Havertz was bleeding, and they found that to be just so professional of him that they thought, we got to give this guy a trophy, man. But where do you stand on it?
I like that. That's not where I was going, but I do like that. I believe they give this dude Man of the Match because Cole Palmer didn't have a great performance. And what are the discussions basically all summer, beginning of the season? Cole Palmer, Saka, yada, yada. Cole Palmer, is the best player. Saka can't lace his boots, all that stuff. Well, when they go head to head and Cole Palmer has a worse game than Saka, what do we have to do to keep the talk on our side? We got to give the Man of the Match to Cucurella, the man he was going up against. That's what I think. The media, baby, the media.
Yeah, I mean, the PR work that Cole Palmer's team is putting in is incredible. I'll give them that.
Keep your third eye open.
It's wide open, dude. All right, man. I guess let me just update everyone really quickly on how the ladies of Arsenal are doing, because they play on Sunday, I believe. And they play Saturday. It's actually the North London Derby for the ladies, and it will be on ESPN Plus. So Saturday morning, 8:45, they will play Tottenham. But since the sacking of their manager, as you may recall, they have they have been unbeaten in all 5 games, and they've won 4 of them. They have a 4-1 result. They have a 2-0 result against West Ham. They tied Man United 1-1. They beat Brighton 5-0. And they beat Juventus 4-0.
Go on,
And I've
then.
seen a lot of headlines and a lot of love shown to our fellow American, Emily Fox. People are loving her.
Go on, Miss Fox. To also give some more ladies a shout out. Washington Spirit in the semifinals of the NWSL. Me and KP, we're gonna be there on Saturday. Games on at 12 p.m. I know the quarterfinals were actually on television. That's how I watched the Spirit game. But yeah, we'll be out there. They're playing Gotham FC. I believe it's just a team from New York. What is the name? Gotham FC.
Yeah, that's going to be fun, man. Thanks for setting that up. I'm excited to go to the game, and we'll see if it's the semis. Hey, I think get it done now. Get it over the line. I can't tell you much about Gotham, but my spirits are high.
Boo. Boo.
All right, man. Well, that's the latest on the ladies. I hope people get to check out their game. You do have a question on here about where do we go from here?
Ooh.
You're saying the squad depth isn't what we thought. Should we have used the boys last year or missed summer business? I think that's an interesting one, man. There's been a lot of talking points lately because the players that we have shipped off have been performing very well. I mean, Reese Nelson, Smith Rowe, Vieira. The only one who's not performing is Eddie.
Ooh. And you know what? I think we leave that as a little cliffhanger for next episode, huh? During international break. Ooh.
Let's do
that. Might be one
dude.
for the bench.
Let's do that. We'll be hitting you from the bench next week. We will have a special guest for you. OG listeners know who it'll be. New listeners, buckle up. It's going to be a good show. For now, thanks for spending time with us. Enjoy the rest of your international break, and we will see you on the other side.
Be easy.